that backing up just a little bit, I know that the school system now wants to try to get a ruling through of a course of curriculum that the grade school, kindergarten kids, I guess, can have teachers explain certain things
Yeah,
sexually about touching and things of that nature, so that the child is aware of that this
right,
is not right. Now, a
right.
lot of parents came out and absolutely went
Well,
berserk over that.
this is, I know, and that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And then when I was in like back, well, that would be the 80s when I was in like junior high and high school. I remember them talking about date rape and everything, and they don't even do that anymore. So the kids now don't learn about what even date rape is, whereas we used to.
I think it's become a, a cultural thing. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but you're right.
Just
It's
kind of
not
accepted. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that our culture now is this is something that just comes with the turf. You're going to go out on a date. You better be ready. You better understand. You got to watch what you're doing. It
Well, you
has
know
a
what? Guess what happened to one of my clients like back a few years ago? So she's in ninth grade, right? And at the time it was still junior high. And she's in ninth grade. This boy sat with her at lunchtime and said, "Hey, do you want to play a game?" And she's like, "Sure." And so he does a card game thing. Then he sexually assaults her. And then she goes to the counselor and says what happened. And the counselor said, "Well, you said you wanted to play a game."
So the counselor just kind of writes it off as
Well, she
promiscuous
blamed the victim.
instead of the perpetrator.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a lot of what's happening now in society right now?
Well, it's definitely happening out here where I'm at.
Can you kind of just draw us a simple picture of why you have that feeling?
Well, because I've had several clients get sexually assaulted at school. Nothing's been done or they've been blamed for it, for wearing something too skimpy.
So then we would look at schools as actually being a little permissive about this and not really believing the victim as they should. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Well, and that's what I find just really like I'm shocked that it's like worse now than when I was in high school. I don't understand that.
Do you think that the transsexual thing that's happening now with younger students and all this PC correct stuff over, well, he dresses like a woman because mentally he thinks he's a woman, therefore we should have restrooms designated and we should do this and that. And do you think this has a psychological approach on what's happening in the schools as far as morals and things are?
I don't know about that because I've had lots of clients that I've supported through the transsexual stuff. And so I don't know if it's even related to this or not, but it could be, I will just put it out there as a possibility.
A possibility. Okay. What I'm really trying to in picture for our listeners is two areas. One, the educational factor that we don't talk about sex. We don't talk about how to protect our kids against pedophiles. We don't use the word pedophile in the house, of course.
Yeah.
And how the children do not understand that there is sex trafficking going on. State of Washington's top 4.
Yeah.
And what a big business it is. We need to, on that side, protect and educate people to protect their children. And the other thing we need to do is, and I bless you very much, and I think that what you're doing is outstanding because you are reaching out saying, hey, I've been there. I want to reach out and help and educate, and let's start a conversation. Let's let people know that these situations are occurring. This is not something that we can just plant underneath the bush somewhere in the woods and walk away from.
That's the thing. It started to come out in the 80s, but then fucking Susan Loftus and her research at the University of Washington with the false repressed memories bullshit, she shut it down.
She closed it out then.
Yes.
Hmm.
And then when I was in college, at my undergrad college at Western Washington University, one of my professors would quote Susan Loftus all day long. And he was the only professor that I had a problem with. And he was the only one who ever gave me a B- on a paper.
Interesting. Was it because your opinion of what he was doing and saying?
Yes. Yeah.
He felt challenged by a student?
Yes. Yeah.
What, real quickly, can you give us just an idea of what your qualifications are? I know you're a therapist. Kind of run through your credentials, if you will.
Okay. So I'm a therapist. I've been a therapist like forever, but licensed since 2002. And then I'm also have a certification in doing therapy with kids in foster care and kids who've been adopted. I also have a certification for doing attachment focused therapy. What else? I have a certification in doing sexual assault, therapy. Trying to think of what else. There's other stuff. Oh, I'm a Reiki master, so I do energy healing work. And then I'm also, like I said, psychically, spiritually gifted. So intuitive gifts. And I think that pretty much covers it.
That covers it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you had a crystal ball, my final question, and I'll move on down the road, but if you had a crystal ball and you could look into it, and you could see what the future was bringing, and you had the power to make some corrections, what would you do?
This is what I always say, because I have the Ungame. That's my therapy game that I've had since 1999. I'm looking at it right now. And that question is in the Ungame. And every time I say the same thing, remove all the violence from the world.
Remove the violence from the world. That's a beautiful, beautiful thought, and I wish we could do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's very, very good. Angie, it's been kind of fun going through this with you, and I got some really good material. And what I'll have to do is chop it up and figure it all out and then ship it over to you so that you can listen to it and see what you think. I really appreciate what you're doing. And I think that a lot of people out there will
appreciate you so much, Bill. I apologize that, I haven't had all the funds to pay you, but you're going to get paid, so don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it, Angie.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest things that I do worry about is that the story that you have doesn't reach enough people. We're trying to. Well,
that's where you come in, Bill.
Well, I sincerely hope so. We have a wonderful kangaroo in Australia that listens to all my shows. I mean, he's a great kangaroo. He has to be a kangaroo.
Very cool.
Yeah. And we are now in India. Believe it or not, there's a snake.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I've been talking to in India. He's really cool.
Oh, well, they opened up a brand new whole brand new world of podcasting over there in India. They've been very tight knit and quiet, and they've opened up a category for podcasting now, and they have set up their own channel, and they have really built a beautiful platform. We were accepted on it. I was really excited about that.
Oh, that's cool.
It really truly is.
Do you know the time, Bill? I'm sorry, I just have something else that I have to do. So,
well, you go ahead, and I appreciate it a lot. And
and I look forward to doing this again soon. So.
You bet we will. Let me get this all down pat, and then I'll get back with you, and we'll go to the next step. You have a good day, and have a good day at the ocean.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.